Have you ever watched a show that went somewhere completely unexpected? I'd say it most commonly happens with stories involving time travel, and Island fits right in with that description. It's based on a visual novel and ends up being just as boring as every other VN adaptation. The show opens up with one of the most generic, overused tropes in all of anime. This first scene set my expectations extremely low. I went ahead and played the first couple hours of the visual novel, and it doesn't start like this at all. In fact, they changed a lot of scenes for the worse. Like when he gives Blonde Girl a maid outfit, then walks in on her changing and gets hit. That wasn't in the game. Even if you're able to enjoy generic fan service, this show still manages to be boring as hell. The island the show's named after feels like there's only 10 people on it. Not a single side character has a backstory or personality, and even the main girls are pretty uninteresting. They must have realized how dry the show was and decided that the only way to keep people watching was with forced cliffhangers. The first one is Blue Hair saying that she can't touch the sunlight. At first I thought they were going to pretend she was a vampire for a while, but it turns out she only thinks she has a skin condition. Was that worthy of a cliffhanger? Not really. They're just trying to trick you into thinking something interesting is happening for once. Another one is when Blonde Girl pushes Main Boy onto the bed and tells him to mess her up. Next episode we find out she wants him to help her get disowned by her father so she can leave the island. They don't even do that, by the way. They just sort of run away, and it looks terrible. I completely lost interest in watching any more of the show by episode 5, so I started skipping through episodes. Then I saw the twist, and I was so amazed with how off the rails the story went that I went back and watched all of it. The first half of the show is about Main Boy trying to figure out what's going on after he washes up on an island with amnesia. He knows he's been sent to the past to do something, but has no idea what his goal is. There's a legend about a couple who were cursed, and it appears to be about him and blue-haired girl. So they start dating? I'm not sure. They held hands in a montage. Main Boy helps his side girls with their problems, and it's all really grounded as they disprove all of their time travel theories. Then we get to the second half. Main Boy finds a Breath of the Wild style stasis chamber in a cave. Then out of literally nowhere, a main character dies, and Main Boy decides to go into a current year stasis chamber, and we end up in the future. The show gets a new intro, a new title, and resets the episode number. I was completely dumbstruck once the priests with laser guns showed up. Future Main Boy decides to go back to the current year, and then there's an incredibly dumb plot twist that I absolutely loved. If you pay more attention than I did, then I'm sure you can see it coming, but I was surprised they decided to give this show the best ending possible. I can't forget to mention the scene where 3 of the main characters try to get Blue Hair outside by pretending they're sexing it up. I laughed when they showed that they were just reading off of a script, but then it keeps going. On and on. It never ends. It becomes just an excuse to fill their fan service quota. They had a good joke going, but they ran it into the ground. Like that annoying kid at school that would hear someone make a funny joke and then repeat it 100 times. Except there's sexy anime girls there too. So, should you watch Island? Never. Island. He knows he's been a bad boy. I laughed when they showed that. Fuck. And even the main girls are pretty uninteresting. Except for fluffy hair. I would fluff that hair all day.